بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضاه. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. إخوتي في الله، نحمد الله. Thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أنتم في نعمة، أنتم في خير، والله you all upon goodness. حافظوا على هذه النعمة. Hold fast to this goodness that you all upon. يعين واحد في تعب هذه الحياة الدنيا. It helps you and it aids you on the hardships of this dunya. اليوم أنا حضرت عرسا، حضرت عقدا، أنا استرحت صراحة، أنا فرحت. يعني العرس فيه فرح، فيه خير، فيه بركة. نعم، كم من أناس ما يهتمون بهذا الشيء. نعم. In the wedding, in it is فرح. نعم، فيها سرور يدخل قلوب الحاضرين. تناول العرسين هذا that's automatic. نعم، that's automatic. يقع من المصاهرة ويقع من الصحبة. نعم، والألفة. نعم، والتشجيع والتأثير ما الله به عليم. And it is a lot of good. نعم. فأنا جددت عهدي لكم، أنا أبناؤكم أبنائي، سأهتم بكم أكثر وأكثر. نعم. I'll make your children like my children. نعم. ولكن سامحوني على رفع الصوت، يعني بعض الأجناس ما يخرج إلا بالتخشن يا إخوة. فهمتموني يا عم عبد الله؟ بعد الأجناس، بعد الشيء عندنا شيء في الإنجليزي يسمى elbow grease. تعرف elbow grease يا نايف؟ You know elbow grease? يا محمد عباس. You know elbow grease? Elbow grease, this is your elbow. Elbow grease means you have to rub hard. A lot of knows elbow grease. Nah. Some pots, they need elbow grease. You can't just have Brillo. Not if it's silky, Brillo. ما يكفي Brillo. You have to have elbow grease. Elbow grease means you have to. وبعد الشبهات والأخطاء, some bad habits that we have, ما يخرجها إلا هكذا. يعني ما سامحوني، ما هو شيء شخصي على أحد. Nobody take anything personal. Nobody take anything personal. ما في شيء شخصي. لكن بعض الأشياء يحتاج بريلو، يحتاج سلك، يحتاج يعني خشن، يحتاج تخشن. نعم. ولكن بارك الله فيكم، أنا سأعطيكم بعض يعني كلمات حكم نقول في إنجليزي. We say if the shoe fits, wear it. نعم. هكذا يا غالب. If the shoe fits, wear it. If I'm talking about something and this fits you, taqillah. If the shoe fits, put it on and wear it. يا أبا مالك فهمت هذا؟ If the shoe fits, wear it. If I'm talking about something وهذا كأني أتكلم فيك، أنا ما ذكرت اسمك، أنا ما أنوي أحد، والله ما أقصد أحد بالكلام. I don't intend anybody specifically. It's general. I have to advise. Like, if the shoe fits, yeah, Yusuf. Understand what that means? If the shoe fits, wear it. Yeah, Naif. إن كان هذا النعل أنا أتكلم يليق بك. If it is, put it on. تق الله. It's the benefit. نعم. فأنتم في خير، أنتم في خير. يا أخوة، تعرف إيش هو العرس؟ اسمع. أنا أريدكم أن تفخم هذا أكثر. نعم، بدون المبالغات. لكن في اليمن، وأنتم أهل اليمن، يهتمون بالخطبة. الخطبة يحصل فرح والعزومة للخواص. نعم، والشاي والأكل ويعني سيارات. أنا ما نحول السيارات، لكن الخطبة يحصلها يا داوود أنت معي الخطبة يا أحمد أنا أشوقكم. The proposal, it has meaning. You understand? It has some type of weight, some type of farah. It has some type of joy, not with the other side, not just with the man and the woman and the families, both families. هو عندكم يلا used to this. أنا متعجب، أنا مسكين، أنا من هنا. نعم يا أبا مالك أنت معي؟ الخطبة, just the proposal that they come over to this house and يكرمهم بهذا الطلب وهم أجابوا وحصل اتفاق. Yes, the خطبة يحتاج هذا الاحترام. نعم هذا أهمية, just a proposal. The importance and significance and attention needs to be put into that. لأن الرجل إذا خطب قوية يعني الشأن اشتد. Now look at your son when يحصل له الخطبة. كيف يتحرك. نعم. So a shab, when you see your son is getting older, يعني حصل له get اخطب له. Get him proposed. It's going to have him thinking differently. Like you got to be a man now. You can't be that same jokester, laughing all the time, playing all the time, going overboard. أنت قادم على مسؤولية. You come into something responsible. نعم. عيب هذه الأمانة. هذه بنت الناس. هذه بنت الإسلام. You marry this woman, you got to be responsible. Eunice, you hear what I'm saying? You have to be responsible. عيب. هذه أمانة. It's a trust. You marry this girl, you have to be patient with her. You have to teach her. You got to watch the way you frown in her face. You can't be getting upset because you don't like this. Hey, she don't know everything like you know. Nah, when he has that, he's proposed and he's engaged, it's going to change his life. Nuh-uh. He's going to start dressing differently. He's going to be pressing his style just to go to Fajr. Nah. He's going to want to be sharp, clean. Nah. And while he's waiting for this day and waiting for this day and waiting for this day, جهز. نعم. فهذا أمر هذا طيب. نعم. أسأل الله يبارك فيكم. يا إخوتي في الله، في الزواج هو أنتم تعرفون، أنا أتكلم عن نفسي. في الزواج هناك مصاهرة. تعرف ما معنى مصاهرة؟ الله سبحانه وتعالى يقول: والذي خلق من الماء بشرا فجعله نسبا وصهرا. Allah created mankind from water, meaning the sperm of a man and the water of the woman. When this happens, people come into the life of this world nasaban. When somebody comes into the life of this world, he comes in. What? He comes in as the son. He doesn't have to fill out the papers. Wait till he gets his birth certificate. Then he's going to be the son. It's automatic. He's the son. He comes in uncle. He comes in ibn am. He just comes into this world. He's an uncle. It's just the way it goes. Okay, if we understand that, as soon as the act goes on, he comes in class. مصاحرة. هذه عمتك يعني حرمة على طول. عمك يحصل مصاحرة مجرد عن العقد. As soon as the act takes place, مصاحرة. وجعلهم نسبا وصهرا. نعم هذا عظيم. نعم. It's family now. So when somebody marries a woman, he married the family. That's your wife's father. It can't be strange. It's your wife's father. You have to give him كل تقدير. كلما تحترم أباها أنت تحترم هذه المرأة. The more you will respect her father, you respect her. The more you respect her brothers, you respect her. So I even advise Muslim women. Some Muslim women, they don't have Muslim family. But she has to come with her whole family. Everybody, even if they're not Muslim, she got to come with Uncle Tyrone and her cousin Tito and KK and little KK. That's what was one of the Bloods. She had to have some representation, yeah, but Bashir. She had to have some representation. She had this Doge. When he looks at this woman, he has to be like, "Oh, you got people." If he sees her that she's just dangling there by herself, just like she just came off an apple tree. She's just an apple that fell off the tree. Nah, she has people. You know what I'm saying? You have to respect these people. She's not just dangling out there. The woman needs representation. فلذلك النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لا نكاح إلا بولي. المرأة تحتاج ولي. She needs representation. So even if a woman, she doesn't even have a wali, a father that is what? Muslim, and a brother that's Muslim, they all have to come to the earth. Somebody's interested in her, you got to meet her father and her brother and her uncle. Even if they're not even that together, she has to put on that front. This is my uncle, this is my uncle such, this is my Khan, this is Ibn Am, this is such and such. She has to have a zifaf. She has to have her people follow her. She has, so it could be like, yo, she has family, Debbie. She can't just be like she's, you know how they have some dolphins. They might take this dolphin or this fish and they grow it up in the homemade pool. Now got it open. Now they're going to send it out to the ocean and they just send it out to the real world. See, you don't know. Yeah, Abdul Hamid, Antmai. فنساؤنا يحتاجنا يعني representation. فالنساء هنا عسى الله سبحانه وتعالى يحفظنهن أن يحفظهن. Ask Allah to protect our women here who don't have good representation, who don't have Muslim family. هذا مهم جدا جدا. No, because if a man thinks that he could take advantage of a woman, he's going to take advantage of her. No, he's going to take advantage of her. Well, a woman, she doesn't have a father. Imagine a woman, she doesn't have a father. She has a grandfather. And he has a cane. He's an old man. Still, nobody's just going to go right past her. Nobody's going to come knocking on her door. No, but if she don't have no grandfather, no uncle, nothing, the people think like, they lose respect. They lose respect. For the women who don't have representation, they have to be hard. They have to have standards. They have to have restrictions. They have to have limitations. She needs the himaya, that she has to represent herself. Anybody come to her halfway, he's not an option. I advise the woman, if somebody comes to you wrong, one strike and you out. One strike. You come to me, calling me, asking my name, or send me something. It's not an option. It's over. How dare you write me some letter? Why don't you go to the imam? Why don't you ask somebody else? If you go to that, it's over. He's not an option. He has to come clean. If you had a grandfather, if you had an uncle, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't try that. So some brothers, they don't have any common sense. They see a woman in the street, like, sister, what's your number? What you drink? أنا متزوج. ما يدريك يا غبي يا قليل أدب يا بلا أدب. How are you going to ask a woman, what's your number? Do you have a wali? But she has a single hijab on. We have single hijabs, and we have mutazawwij hijabs. Come on, taqillah. So if he steps out of line one time, he's through. He's not an option. He's not an option. I'm sorry. It's not an option. Having a sihati. One strike and you out. You come correct. Now, because she's da'if. She don't have that kind of iman. She don't have brothers. She don't have uncles. Muslim women, they come up in a family, they have a father, grandfather, brothers, uncles on the mother's side, uncles on the mother's side, akhwal, and the imam. My mother, she told me that when she was growing up, she was talking to a girl that they grew up in the same area, and the girl said, man, I was always getting beat up and people was always bothering me. So my mother said, nobody bothered me. She said, yeah, you have 4 or 5 brothers. Of course nobody bothered you. You have brothers. Nobody's going to bother you. First, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect our women. And marriage is a must. Marriage is himaya. When a woman, she don't rush. She has to come correct. اليوم كان الخطبة في ما يتعلق بالقدر، فنريد أن نراجع هذا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, إِنَّ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ خَلَقْنَاهُ بِقَدَرٍ. Everything Allah created with qadr. Has a determined measure. Everything. It's determined. Allah qaddarahu. He measured it and he determined it. Ma yazid, it's not going to go over, it's not going to come short. Everything. Your lifespan, maqdur. Your lifespan is limited, it's already determined. How much money you make is determined. Whether you go into Jannah or to the hellfire is determined. But you have to do the necessary asbab. هذا هو الذي عليك. والله سبحانه وتعالى يقول وخلق كل شيء فقدره تقديرا. Now, Allah created everything and He determined for it a specific determination and degree. Now, Al-Iman بالقدر, everybody has to understand what this entails. Shaykh al-Islam, to simplify this for the believers, he said, Al-Iman بالقدر على درجتين كل درجة يتضمن شيئين. Iman بالقدر is on 2 levels. It's 2 levels. There's a foundation, and then there's a foundation, and then there's a building on top of the foundation. There's a foundation, and then there's a building on top of the foundation. It's on 2 levels. So we have to be careful. We have to listen closely when we hear something is maratib, and something is what? Aqsam. Aqsam doesn't mean that when it's categories, it doesn't convey that one is on top of the other. One's first, one is second, one is third. Categories just shows that it's different sections. When you hear maratib din, maratib al-qadr, you call these maratib al-qadr. They're levels of qadr, meaning one is first, then is second, then third, then fourth. It has a process, a sequence. Tartib. Maratib يدل على الترتيب. Now that is a sequence. الأول هو أن الله علم كل شيء فكتبه. That Allah knows everything and He wrote it down. First, Allah alim. Allah knows everything. He knows everything. Now, وأدلته معروف. The dalil that Allah knows everything, that's well known of you. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He created the pen and told the pen to write everything down that's going. It's written down. It's in the Lawh al-Mahfuz. Now, Allah wrote it down. After that, الدرجة الثانية شاء فخلقه. Allah wanted it to happen, made it happen. Now, Allah wanted it to happen, and Allah made it happen. Now, so what we benefit from the first daraja of qadr, ما أصابك لم يكن ليخطئك وما أخطأك لم يكن ليصيبك. That which befell you from good or bad, that which came to you from wealth, from good health, whatever comes to you, it wasn't going to miss you. Or that what came to you from hardships, and trials, and tribulations, and bad things. It wasn't going to pass you by. It's written before. وَمَا أَخْطَأَكَ لَمْ يَكُنْ يُصِيبَكَ. That which passed you by from good. You lost out on some money. You lost out on a house. You lost out on this. The son passed away. That which passed you by, it wasn't going to have it. It just wasn't going to happen. Or that which passed you by from evil. No, that wasn't going to happen to you. It wasn't going to happen to you. No. As for الدرجة الثانية شاء وخلق. Whatever Allah wants, it happens. What we benefit from that هو قول العلماء ما شاء الله كان. Whatever Allah wants, it happens. It occurs. استسلم لهذا. Submit to that. Accept that. That's why it's called إيمان بالقدر. That's why, because it's a belief. It's a belief, but it's a correct belief. Accept that internally. Whatever Allah wants, it happens. وَمَا لَمْ يَشَاء لَمْ يَكُنْ. And what if Allah doesn't want? It doesn't happen. This is His world. Nothing happens in this world except Allah wants it. أول إذا خلقه علمه. نعم. ألا يعلم من خلق. يعني أليس الذي خلق كل شيء يعلم؟ كيف خلق الشمس وكيف خلق القمر كيف خلق الأشياء إلا هو عالم. إيه ألا يعلم من خلق. Doesn't He know? The one who's to create everything, doesn't He know? No. وهو يملكه. Because Allah creates something and He doesn't own it. No, if Allah created it, He owns it. He يدبرها, feeds it, He controls it, He manages it, He knows everything. He created it. And He created it for a purpose. It has a time that it's going to be here. For these two things, everybody has to know these two qa'idas. Say this to your family. Say this to your parents. Say this to your brothers. When they fall into hardship, say, ما أصابك لم يكن ليخطئك وما أخطأك لم يكن ليصيبك. هذا يلين قلبه. نعم. Say, يا أخي, I know that you're going through a hard time, but that which before you, Allah wrote that down before you were ever born. It wasn't going to pass you by. And Allah, الذي كتب هذا هو الرحمن الرحيم. That merciful Lord, He wrote this for you. وهو حكيم. And He has hikmah. نعم. He has wisdom in the things He does. نعم. Or you say to your brother when something happens to him, قل يا أخي ما شاء الله كان. وما لم يشاء لم يكن. Whatever Allah wants, it happens. This is by the will of Allah. هذا بمشيئة الله. This is by the will of Allah. نعم. علشان يجمع نفسه. So he can contain himself. نعم. So he can contain himself. هو حديث عظيم. This is called يا إخوتي في الله الإيمان بالقدر. This is a belief. فإيماننا في هذا الشيء تتفاوت. Our belief in this, it differs. Nah. When somebody's iman in this is strong, تجده شجاع مقدام. Nah. Brave. He advances forward. He knows لا يصيبه إلا ما كتبه الله له. He knows nothing's going to befall him except what Allah wrote down for him. ففي حديث عظيم النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول المؤمن القوي خير وأحب إلى الله من المؤمن الضعيف. The strong believer is better and more beloved to Allah than the weak believer. Where's the strength in it? What kind of strength we're talking about? ما قال الرجل القوي. Now قال المؤمن القوي. And his iman is قوي. The one that his iman is قوي is more beloved. نعم. أحب إلى الله. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم قال المؤمن القوي خير وأحب. خير, he is better and he's more beloved. وفي كل خير. And all of them is good. Even the weak believer, he has his nasib from Muhabbatullah. He has his portion of Muhabbatullah. Na'am. And he has his portion of good. But the portion of good, it varies according to his iman. Na'am. It varies to the level of iman. فقال بعد هذا: احرص على ما ينفعك واستعن بالله ولا تعجز. فذكر نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم سبب تقدم المؤمن القوي. Now the Prophet mentioned the reason why the strong believer is better and ahead of the weak believer. قال احرص على ما ينفعك واستعن بالله ولا تعجز. These three ingredients, very important. Be anxious to go up that and embark upon that which benefits you. Be anxious. لا تكن كسولا. نعم. لا تتأخر. نعم. التأخر ما هو طيب. نعم. وفي حديث النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم رأى في أصحابه تأخرا. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, he saw in his companions that they were delaying. فقال تقدموا واتموا بي واتم بكم من بعدكم فلا يزال القوم يتأخرون حتى يؤخرهم الله. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he saw people, they were delaying. He saw his companions delaying, and he said, "Move up, taqaddamu, move up, wattamu bi, and follow me. Wal ya'tamma bikum man ba'dakum, let those behind you follow you. No people will cease delaying. La yazal al-qawm yata'akharun. They don't cease delaying hatta ya'akhiruhum Allah, until Allah delays them." He didn't say yata'akhir an as-salah. ما قال يتأخر عن الخير. ما قال يتأخر عن الزكاة. ما قال يتأخر عن الحج. He didn't say that they delay for this. It's just general. It's just general. نعم. وهذا التأخر هو دليل الكسل. نعم. This shows that somebody's lazy. نعم. وكان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول: اللهم إني أعوذ بك من العجز والكسل. نعم. العجز, even though it has some ajaz means that you want to do something but you can't do it. You want to do something but you can't do it. He's ma'dhur. It's a deficiency. هو نقص. لكن كسل, he can do it. ما يريد. He can. نعم. هذا الذي يصيبنا جميعا لا يسلم منه أحد. Everybody, it happens to him. Like في حفظ القرآن, the Quran doesn't request from us a lot of time. The Quran requests from us 1/2 hour. Like in يصيبنا كسل ننشغل. The Quran is not that book where you have to spend 3 hours on it every day. 1/2 hour. I'm telling you that you sat down and you paid attention for 1/2 hour, you could do 3 lines. Nah, you could do 3 lines, but do it every day. Why not? Nah. It just takes a 1/2 hour out of your day. Give it time. Nah. Or just read Quran. Nah. Same thing with Qiyam al-Layl. Oh, you thought of that. It doesn't request from us hours. And we had that the Prophet kana yusalli hatta yatawarram qadama. The Prophet used to pray. Okay, that's the Prophet. But Qiyam al-Layl itself, ma yutalib kathir. Standing at night, it doesn't request from you a whole lot. Nah. And we could go on and on with that. Inna ad-din yusr wa la yushad ad-din ahadan illa ghalaba. This deen is easy. This deen is easy. Nah. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Ihris ala ma yanfa'uk wasta'in billah," meaning put your trust in Allah. Nah, put your trust in Allah. Do the asbab al-shar'iyyah. Akhd bil asbab. Na'am. Alladhi tayassara lak. Every time a door opens for you, that you can take that path to get your goal, grab onto that door, open that door, go through that path, get that thing done. Na'am. ولا تعجز. لا تعجز. Don't say that's just the way I am. I just get upset. I'm asabi. Some of them say I'm asabi. Yeah, you can't. How long are you gonna be making that excuse? You know, I'm asabi. I just get upset. That's just the way I am. Okay, I'm upset. Yeah, don't go with that excuse. I just get upset. I just scream sometimes. Yeah, I know I shouldn't do that, but that's just the way I am. لا تعجز. نعم لا تعجز. لا ترضى لنفسك القصور. حاول. Try to overcome it. Try. That's what that means. Then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, and that which concerns us. وَإِنْ أَصَابَكَ شَيْءٌ فَلَا تَقُلْ لَوْ فَعَلْتَ كَذَا وَكَذَا كَانَ كَذَا وَكَذَا. If something happens to you from hardships and calamities, trials, tribulations, a musibah, something happens to your car, something happens to your son, something happens to your money, something happens to you, a heavy event, don't say to try to console. Well, you suddenly nafsak, not to say, oh man, if I would have went that way, or if I would have came back, or if I would, don't do that. Say, qaddar Allah ma sha'a fa'al. In this statement, فيه درجتان القدر. الإيمان بالقدر فيه ماذا؟ درجتين. نعم. لكل درجة يتضمن شيئين. When you say, don't say لو فعلت كذا, ولكن قول قدر الله. ما معنى قدر الله؟ الله علم هذا فكتبه. نعم. Allah determines, Allah knew this was going to happen, so he wrote it down. ما شاء فعل. يعني مشيئته ويحققها وخلقه. نعم. That Allah wanted this and he made it happen. هذه كلمة كبيرة. In it is a درجتين of qadr. You say قدر الله. What does قدر الله mean? قدر الله. In some narrations it's قدر الله, or some narrations قدر الله. يعني هذا قدر الله. This is the decree of Allah. You're saying to yourself, this is what Allah wrote. And this is what Allah knew, and he wrote it down. I believe that. You're telling yourself, I believe that this was written down before I was even born. Now, you're telling yourself, ما شاء فعل. That's the other daraja of qadr. That Allah, إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا. أراد يعني شاء. Ready. If he wants something, يقول له كن يكون. نعم. If Allah wants something, he says to it be, and it is. ففي هذا درجتين القدر. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, فإن لو تفتح عمل الشيطان. When you say loud, oh, if I went here, if I went there, you open the door for a lot of grief. You open the door for what? Huzn. I never should have went there. Never. Yeah, I can't get over it. قد حصل. خلاص. Or you open the door for hasad. Why my thing went down, his ain't go down. Why everybody got but me? I don't open up door for hasad. I open the door for kibr. Don't open up none of those doors for shaitan. فإن لو تفتح عمل الشيطان. عمل الشيطان والندم والحزن والشك والعجز. I never get anything, man. Every time I try something, I can never get it. لا تفتح هذا الباب. Just say, this is what Ar-Rahman wrote for me. رضيت يا رب. رضيت. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he explains the benefit of what? Al-Qadr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ما أصاب من مصيبة إلا بإذن الله. ما أصاب من مصيبة إلا بإذن الله. ومن يؤمن بالله يهدي قلبه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, no musibah happens in this world. Musibah is a calamity, a hardship. Asabaka musibah. ما أصاب من مصيبة إلا بإذن الله. It happened by the permission of Allah. يعني أراده الله. It didn't happen. ما شاء الله كان. ما أصاب من مصيبة إلا بإذن الله. طيب. Allah says, ومن يؤمن بالله يهدي قلبه. Whoever believes in Allah, يعني Ibn Abbas قال أن يؤمن أن ما أصابك لم يكن ليخطئك وما أخطأك لم يكن ليصيبك. يؤمن بالقدر. If he believes that which befell him wasn't going to miss him, and that which passed him by wasn't going to hit him, يهدي قلبه يأتي سكينة غلق الباب فإن الله يفتح عمل الشيطان. Now هو غلق هذا الباب. وَمَنْ يُؤْمِنْ بِاللَّهِ. So what's going to help you yu'min billah? That you say what? قَدَّرَ اللَّهُ مَا شَاءَ فَعَلَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يقول وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات وبشر الصابرين الذين إذا أصابتكم مصيبة. Those, Allah says, we're going to test you with something from fear, trials and tribulations, and the loss of lives and fruits of this world. Give glad tidings to the patient. Who are they? Who are the patient? You just say, I'm patient and you're patient. What does that mean? What does it mean that you're patient? What do they do to exercise patience? الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة. Those, when the calamity hits them, قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. هذه كلمة كبيرة. Everybody, they say this to themselves out loud. تسمع نفسك. Let yourself hear this when the calamity hits you and it's difficult. Inna lillah. We belong to Allah. He's saying, I belong to Allah. My legs is the property of Allah. My car, haqqullah. My fingers, Allah's. My eyes, Allah. He does whatever he sees fit. Ana mamluk. Ana al-abd al-mamluk. That's what he's saying. Inna lillah. I'm owned. I'm the property of Allah. He does to me whatever he wants to do. Waraditu. That's what that means. Inna lillah. طيب فهذا سؤال عندكم وإنا إليه راجعون. ما معنى هذا؟ وإنا إليه راجعون. عندك يا معين. ما معنى وإنا إليه راجعون؟ هلا. لا أحد يفسر الماء بالماء. If I ask somebody what is water, don't say it's water. Don't say it means that we're going to go back. Don't say نحن سنرجع إليه. Don't say that. وإنا إليه راجعون. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. ما وإنا إليه راجعون? What does that mean? ما اسمك يا أخانا؟ نعم. عبد الله. حياك الله. ما معنى هذا وإنا إليه راجعون؟ نعم. طيب. طيب أنا سأعطيكم آية أخرى. الله سبحانه وتعالى يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى يقول ما استحضر الآية لكن لعلهم يرجعون. ايش الآية؟ في البر والبحر. هذا الآية. نعم. طيب الله سبحانه وتعالى يقول ولنذيقنهم من العذاب الأدنى. We're going to give them a taste of the small punishment. دون العذاب الأكبر لعلهم يرجعون. ما يرجعون؟ نعم. يتوبون. But في هذه الآية when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says لعل وإن إليه راجعون يعني محاسبون. You're telling yourself أنا محاسب على هذا الفعل. هذا امتحان. والله سيحاسبني. Hold on. Allah's looking at me right now وأنا محاسب. أنا سأتأدب. That's what you're telling yourself. نعم. إن لله يعني وإن إليه راجعون أي محاسبون. We're going to be held accountable. It's just a test. It's just a test. The good of it and the bad of it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says فأما الإنسان وهو الكافر فأما الإنسان إذا ما ابتلاه ربه. Allah tests him. فأكرمه ونعمه. Gives him this and makes that easy for him. يقول ربي أكرمه. He says Allah has honored me and he loves me. It's just a test. أما الإنسان إذا ما ابتلاه. It's just a test. We're going to see how you do. That's it. It's just a test. وأما إذا ما ابتلاه. Now if he tests him فقدر عليه أي ضيق عليه رزقه. Make him poor. Make things tough for you. يقول ربي أهانني. Allah has disgraced me. La, la. It's just a test. It's just a test. You're being graded. Nah. And when that thing hits you and that musibah happens to you, well, you're saying, I'm the property of Allah. He does whatever he wishes. And I know this is just a test. I'm going to be asked about this day right here, and I'm awake. I'm telling myself, in Tebe, don't get too upset. It could be worse. That's what I'm telling myself. Na'am. Wa inna ilayhi raji'un. We're going to go back to Allah. Min nahnu muhasabun. He's going to ask him about this very day. Na'am. Wa hadha amru muhim. Na'am. كنت أبحث عن آية الله سبحانه وتعالى يقول قل هل تربصون بنا إلا إحدى الحسنيين. نعم. يعني المؤمن هو في خير مهما كان. ايش هو الحسنيين يا يوسف؟ حسنيين. ايش الحسنيين؟ Where's the two goods? نعم. قل هل تربصوا بنا إلا إحدى الحسنيين. نعم. لا 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 ما أعرف هذا. سننظر فيه. When somebody is fighting, he's either going to die, and that's خير. But what's the other حسن? أنه يبقى في الدنيا ويأخذ الغنيمة. نعم. It's either that or that. I can't lose. I can't lose. أنا في قدر الله. Can't lose. إما أرجع بالغنيمة وإما أقدم على الله. نعم. وهذا شأنه. That's the point. That's your شأنه. Whatever happens to you, أنت صابر محتسب وأنت شاكر. نعم. The things that happen to you from hardship is a test. And the things that happen to you from good is all a test. طيب. عندك يا نايف. When Allah tests somebody with hardship, what is he testing? Somebody goes to the doctor, they take his blood. What do they check? They check his hadid, they check his iron, they check his white cell blood, they check his sugar. The test that we go through when hardships come, what's the test for? What is he testing? What's the test for? All of it is Iman. Then when he tests you with rahmah and money and good health, what's the testing? Nah. The test on hardships is patient. Are you patient? Nah. And the test in ease and comfort is in what? Is in shukr. Nah. And that's your life. Your life, it goes from hardships. You being tested in hardships. And sometimes you pass it in shukr. Sometimes you have to go out of your way to thank Allah for ni'mah. And other times you have to go out of your way and be patient upon what you're upon. Nah. And anybody, low fattash, walau nadar, in any baliyah that you're in any hardship that you're in, if you look good, you're going to find in that hardship ni'mah. You go, alhamdulillah. Ibtalani fi dunya wa mabtalani fi din. Nah. Alhamdulillah, my car fell in the hole. Other people fall in for wahish. Other people falling into, bigger things. I just fell in the hole. You understand what I'm saying? Nah. If you look good in every baliyah that you're in, and you look closely, you're going to find in that hardship the ni'mah of Allah. You got to look. Now you have to look. For this ayat here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings out some of the benefits of qadr. ما أصاب من مصيبة إلا بإذن الله. No calamity occurs except by the permission of Allah. It's by the وَمَنْ يُؤْمِنْ بِاللَّهِ. Whoever believes in Allah, whoever believes ما أصابك لم يكن ليخطئك وما أخطأك لم يكن ليصيبك. Whoever believes that whatever fell him, it wasn't going to miss him, and that what missed him, it wasn't going to befall him. يهدي قلبك. And that's what you want after the hardship. You know how many people lose their mind after hardship? Listen, do people kill themselves because they have hardships? Or no, nobody does that. Do people kill themselves after hardships? Do people, you know how many people get addicted to drugs and alcohol because of baliyah? Read about addiction. Read about addiction. When did they start using these drugs? When did they start it? When such and such died, or my friend got killed, or my mother got such and such, or when I got raped, or when I got such and such. That's when people started using, when they just started using it because of, nah. ولكن من يؤمن بالله يهدي قلبه. This is what makes him. So you have to say to yourself, قدر الله ما شاء إن لله وإنا إليه راجعون. Say it out loud. صلي نفسك. نعم. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam صلى نفسه يوما. One day somebody got the Prophet upset. صلى الله عليه وسلم. قال اعدل يا محمد. Be fair. اتق الله يا محمد. For the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, رحم الله موسى أوذي بأكثر من هذا وصبر. He reflected on Musa. He said, may Allah have mercy on Musa. He was given more hardship than this. I mean, when he looked at somebody who was afflicted with something that was greater than him, it made him calm down. Calmed him down. You have to do that to yourself. Hardships come to you. فالنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إنما الصبر من يكمل الحديث عند الصدمة الأولى. That's صدمة. And sabr is at the beginning of the crash. Bam! You can't scream and yell and break this and break all that, break that, curse somebody out, break this, do that, and then say, قدر الله ما شاء فعل. يا أخي, قدر الله ما شاء فعل. You done broke up the dunya. Curse everybody out. Scream and yell. La. Sabr is at the beginning of the clash. Bam! So you have to say, Ya Abdul Hakim, قدر الله ما شاء فعل إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون رحم الله صلى الله على نبينا محمد رضي الله على أبي بكر قد ابتلوا. هذا لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. هذه الكلمات يقع على قلبك يصبرها. Is this true that Allah doesn't give anybody a burden more than they can bear? It's true. ولكن ننساه. We forget when we're in the baliyah and we're in the middle of it. So you have to do that to yourself. Now, how many people come to me? Ana ma a'mal ruqya. Nobody asks me for any ruqya. I don't do it. ارقي نفسك يا أخي. أنت أولى بالرقية. When you ask somebody to give a ruqya, أنا قد أخبرتكم. When you ask somebody to give you ruqya, listen, my uncle, my father, my son, he's not doing well. That rock is gonna go. Yeah, okay, yeah, come on, I'll go. Yeah. No, خالص لك. His waqt, I mean, not his qalb. وقته ما خالص, no فاضي لك. He's gonna come, but he wants to. Yeah, all right, I'll go. Amma, when you do it, so your qalb is going to be clean, softy. All of the attention is going to be for your daughter, for your wife. And you think he has some magic, some ayat, and some. He doesn't know anything that you don't know. What does he know? What does he know? He has some ayat in another Quran that come to you. Well, he has more iman than you. He loves your beloved more than you love them. How can you go to the Rocky? Oh, I need a Rocky. Nafsak. Do that to your wife. Read over your wife. Read over with iman. He's going to see the same thing that you read. Same thing with somebody either tuwaffiya abu or tuwaffiya akha or ibna. Anta tusalli. You pray over your father. You pray. Somebody's going to call the imam. Imam, we have a janazah right now. After we have a janazah? Okay, no. He's going. He has somewhere to go. He's like, man, it's going to delay it. Yeah, bring in the janazah. He has things to do. I'm هذا أبوك. أنت فاضلة. قلبك فاضي. Your heart is open. You're going to have to. Who's going to pray a janazah better than you over your father? So, getting back to our topic, when you're in a predicament, you have to take care of yourself. ذكر نفسك. Salli nafsak. Salli means console your own self. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the benefit of Iman bilqadr in another verse. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ما أصاب من مصيبة في الأرض ولا في أنفسكم إلا في كتاب من قبل أن نبرأها إن ذلك على الله يسير. There's no calamity that happens in the world, tornado, Tucson, whatever it is, earthquake. Now, the disbelievers don't have enough belief to say that this is from Allah. What do they say? It's from Mother Nature. They can't accept that. They say God is love. As if Allah ما يغضب ما يسخط ما يلعن ما يعذب. They say God is love. This earthquake is from Mother Nature. That's because their heart, they don't have that iman, they don't have that guidance to accept that. That earthquake is from Allah. And that tornado that filled them houses, fell down on those children, it's from Allah. They don't know why. That's from Allah. That's what it was. نعم. ما أصاب من مصيبة في الأرض. No calamity happens in the world. ولا في أنفسكم. Or in your own lives. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إلا في كتاب من قبل أن نبرأها. كتاب الله علمه فماذا كتبه. قبل أن نبرأها شاء فبرأه يعني خلقه. نبرأها يعني الله بارئ وخالق. He made it happen. يا بشير أنت معي. إلا في كتاب الله علم وكتبه. من قبل أن نبرأها, before we make it happen. شاء وفعل. It's 2 degrees of qadr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna dhalika ala Allah yasir. Now, Allah explains why we have this iman fil qadr. لكي لا تأسوا على ما فاتكم. So you don't grieve and be sorry on what passed you by. That's why. That's the benefit of it. So you have to say this. You have to, when the thing happens, you have to use your iman bil qadr. You got to use your iman bil qadr. Don't go there. And it happens on every little thing, not just the big things. Even your daily thing that comes in you with you and your wife and you and your children. لكي لا تأسوا على ما فاتكم. So that you're not sorry of the things that pass you by. على ما فاتكم. ولا تفرحوا بما آتاكم. That which came to you. لا تفرح. كثير من الآيات, ما معنى فرح في كتاب الله في كثير من الآيات؟ لا تفرح إن الله لا يحب الفرحين. الكبر. نعم. How does it mean kibr? Because some people, when they get happy, some people are happy and thankful. Some people are happy and arrogant. Okay, but it has to do that they're happy. Some people are happy. I'm like, oh man, I'm happy. I got this. This is good. Some people are happy. Like, I told you I could do it. I'm the main man. You see what I did, boy? Nobody can do it like me. He's happy, but it comes out in arrogance. كله فرح. But some people, their farah, it's like, alhamdulillah, الذي يسر لي. نعم. فأنا أنصح, we're on the topic. I don't want anybody in their farah in the zawaj when يكون كبر. انتبه لا تتكبر في زواجك. نعم. You got this money and this car, this dab, this on the issue. فاخر كل هذا. نعم. فرح, اشكر الله. Make your زواج فرح. شكر. ليش فرح؟ سيارات, ضياع, تفكير, تصريف. نعم. تبذير, wasting money, food, everything. You're gonna know me. It's my marriage, boy. I got cars, got that over here, got pictures, got junk. I got everything. I got the best wedding. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the 2 reasons. لكي لا تأسوا على ما فاتكم. That's what passed you by. ولا تفرحوا بما أتاكم. That you're not arrogant on that what came to you. بارك الله فيكم. وفي حديثان أنا يعجبني هذه الأحاديث نقرأها. قرأناه في الجمعة. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم دعا الناس. The Prophet called the people. فقال هلموا إلي. Come to me. فأقبلوا إليه فجلسوا. They came to the Prophet and they sat down. فقال هذا الرسول رب العالمين جبريل. This is the messenger of the Lord of the world, Jibril. نفث في رأوي. نفث means to blow. He blew into my soul. أنه لا تموت نفس حتى تستكمل رزقها. Nobody is going to die until he gets all of his risk. It's written down. It's written down. وَإِنْ أَبْطَأَ عَلَيْهَا. Even if the risk delayed and didn't come to him right away, even if it delayed, nobody's going to die except what's written down for him, it comes to him. فَقَالَ فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَأَجْمِلُوا فِي الطَّلَبِ. Fear Allah and be upright and sophisticated in Jamil while you're in talab, chasing dunya and trying to get dunya. Don't be majnoon. Don't lose your mind. Don't have suit to sarrafat. Kun Jamil. Kun Sharifan. Be upright. Be a man of character. Even though you're getting after dunya, kun Jamilan. Na'am. Ajmilu. And be Jamil. Ajmilu fit talab. Then the Prophet said, لا يحلمنكم استبطاء الرزق. Don't let this cause you استبطاء الرزق. You see that it's slow, that it's bati. You see that the risk is coming slow. It's not coming. Don't let the fact that you think the risk is coming slow أن تأخذوه بمعصية, that you try to get it by the haram. Like, man, the money ain't coming in. I got this store and everything, it's not coming. Now I'm going to put some lotto tickets up in there. I'm going to start selling some cigarettes. So I'm going to put some beer in there. Are there Muslims that sell liquor? Are there Muslims that sell liquor? No, everybody, one or two. It's hard to admit that, right? Why do they sell it? It's the thought risk. They say, damn. Are there Muslims that sell cigarettes or that sell lotto tickets? لا يحلمنكم استبطاء الرزق. Don't make the fact that you see that the money's coming in slow, don't make that make you تأخذوه بمعصية. Don't try to get it by ma'siyah now. Don't try to get it by haram. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet said, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُنَالُ مَا عِنْدَهُ إِلَّا بِطَاعَتِهِ. ما شاء Allah. Really, Allah, that which is with him, you don't obtain it except by ta'ah. Al-barakah wal-khair, it has to be with ta'ah. The likes of this hadith comes on Jabir. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam قال يا أيها الناس اتقوا الله وأجملوا في الطلب. Oh people, fear Allah. وأجملوا في الطلب. Be jameel في الطلب, in your request for dunya. Be jameel. Be upright. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran, Sabrun Jameel, wa Hajar Jameel, wa Safhal Jameel. Have a sabr that's Jameel, that you're upright. Na'am. When you're trying to go after dunya, be upright. Stay Jameel. Na'am. Then the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam faqal, فَإِنَّ النَّفْسِ لَن تَمُوتْ حَتَّى تَسْتَوْفِيَ رِزْقَهَا. Nobody's going to die until you get everything that was written down. وَأَنْتَ فِي بَطْنِ أُمِّكَ. And the angel came and it wrote down your risk. It was written down before you even came out of your mother's stomach. Now, nobody's going to die until he gets all of his risk. وَإِنْ أَبْطَعَ عَنْهَا. Even if it delayed to the end of your life, it's going to come. فَأَجْمِلُوا فِي الطَّلَبِ. What does this mean? أَجْمِلُوا فِي الطَّلَبِ. Be beautiful about it. قال خُذُوا مَا حَلَّ دَعُوا مَا حَرَّمَ. ما أحسن الكلمات. خُذُوا مَا حَلَّ. Take that which is halal. دعوا ما حرم. Leave off that which is haram. Leave off that which is haram. هذا درسنا اليوم يا إخوتي في الله. الإيمان بالقدر شيء. You don't. It's not a belief that you just hang it up on the shelf and you say I believe in qadr. No. Every time something good happens to you, say tashkur Allah. And every time something happens bad to you, you're going to be patient and you salli nafsa. You're going to console yourself and you're going to say qadar Allah ma sha'a fa'al. And you're going to say this to your brothers and to your family when they're in hardships. And you're going to say, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And this is the things you're going to say to control. This what Iman and Qadr entails. The beliefs in it, they differ in it. They differ in it. So how do you get stronger in it? Every time something happens good, you got to thank Allah. Every time something happens bad, you're going to do that. So when something bad happens, you're going to be there. Been there, did that. I know how to handle it. Been there, did that. I've been there. يبتلى المرء على قدر دينه فإن كان في دينه صلب اشتد بلاءه. A person is tested on the level of his religion. So when you get a little stronger iman, you're going to get a stronger test. You get a stronger test. So you want, when a test comes to you, the little test, you're going to be like, I know how to handle it. It's no problem. صابر. صابر على أهلك. أنا كان لك في الزواج. You're not going to be patient on your wife. It's nothing new. كن صابر، كن جميل. صابر على أولادك. صابر على نفقتك. On the راتب that you get, the money that you get, be صابر, be جميل. When are you going to be جميل? When are you going to be content? متى تكون قنوع؟ متى? When is ستقتنع? When are you going to be satisfied? When you go to the grave? Wait, when you're waiting for that, you just like, Alhamdulillah. أنا راضٍ I'm pleased. Man, what's going to help you do that? الإيمان بالقدر. الإيمان بالقدر. Believing in قدر. نكتفي بهذا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك. أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت. أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.